community. I hope you are doing good. In this discussion we will see how to use create special command, and in case you missed previous discussion about introduction about the special commands, please check, link is given in the description. If you want to learn more about Odoo, you can visit the WebLearns channel. Under the home screen you can see Odoo 17 and 18 development tutorial. Right now we are working on this playlist. By the way, if you are a beginner and want to learn from the beginning, you can visit this playlist because this is the main playlist and those are the topic wise sub playlist available. Alright, let's back to our main topic. And guys, if you didn't subscribe this channel, please subscribe. It will help me a lot. Plus you will also get the latest notification about the upcoming sessions. So here the question is how we can also implement the same thing, right? The create command in which situation. So for example, let's say I'm trying to of the sales order, not the student or school. So you will get the idea. Okay, so for that, let me minimize this one. Let me go to the school, sorry, the student right here. Okay, now here I just need to restart the service. So it says you can see here the sales order, right? And if I will add here comma cell as a depend, then after we don't need to worry about anything. Now you can see it's working fine, right? So here let me clear everything. Now why I have inherited the cell and cell line, right? I'm giving you one example so you will understand how you can also implement the same create command. Okay, for example, I'm trying to add here this order, right? Now you can see here, if you don't know anything about this interface, right? So this is the sales order, right? And the model is the cell dot order, and you can see these lines, right? This is the cell order line, so that model name is cell dot order dot line. So that's the reason I have override that cell dot order and cell dot order dot line, those models, and plus I also override the create method. Right now you can see here, once I click to this button, that means it will directly call the create method. Right now you can see here in the backend, see, so this is specifically for the sales order, right? And this is specifically for the cell order line. Now let's see here in this data, right, the dictionary format, the list of dictionary, you can see this order line. Let me copy, let me open this JSON viewer, right? And now you can see this is the order underscore line. So this is the field name, and this field is one to many field. Okay, now here you can see this is the one to many field you have to consider in your mind, right? And here they used here 0, right? Then after this is the virtual ID. You don't need to worry about what it is, it will automatically generate by Odoo, but in our case we can directly use here as a 0. Okay, and now you can see this is the sales order line vals, right? And now you can see rest of the fields. Okay, so Odoo uses something like this using the sort name. If you remember the last session, I already provided you two names, right? So in Odoo we can use two ways. The first way is the sort name, which they are using right now. Here you can see like 0, 0, dictionary, and another is the create as a special command, right? In this discussion I'm going to show you two different ways, don't worry. Okay, so first one is this 0, 0. Let's say I'm trying to copy this same JSON format, this one, but without space. And yeah, so once this super method call, right, after the immediately it will also call to create the cell order line record. So it will automatically call. Okay, we don't need to, like, Odoo will not never call like two different create methods from the interface. So what it does is like we using the special command. When we use the special command, once we save the record, right, in terms of, you have to think about only the create records, not the update records. Okay, we will see for the update one also, specifically for the create records, right? In that case, whatsoever the one to many lines is here and we are trying to create the records, right? In this case, automatically call the respective models create method from this main cells.order create method. Okay, so you can see this is the live example, right? And then after, you can see this automatically call this something like this way, right? Now let's see another one. Cement, then bricks, right? And here, let me remove all the locks. Once I click here, now you can see, so this is the main cells wells, right? This is the cells order line. In a single, you can see they are passing a multiple lines in a list of dictionary format, so it will only call one time the cells order line create method, right? So this is the basic one. Now let's implement from using our method in the school profile. Okay, so let's say here, let me comment it out, this part. Now here you can see here we already have this one, right? We can copy. Now you can see, right, something like this. Now here what I'm doing is like, this is cell order vals. Okay, I'm passing something like this in a list of dictionary format. Now this is the order underscore line, which is one to many field, right? In one to many field, you can see we have to provide something like this. This is O2M. O2M, it's a short name for the one to many field, equal to. So here we can use 0, 0, and the dictionary. In our previous session, we saw something like this, right, in a short name. So 0 is the special command, right? We can identify from the first index. Okay, so for the 0, it means we have to create the record. Then after, this is the 0 again. So that 0 means it's a virtual field. If you remember, they created here the virtual field, right? So in our case, we don't need to do anything. So we can still pass here the 0. We don't have, right, in the backend. And here you can see this is the dictionary format. In this dictionary format, we have to also pass the cells order line, the fields, and its fields value. So here they are doing also the same. See, you can see here 0, and this dictionary format. Now we are also going to implement the same thing. Now you can see this is the first line, right? Now what we are doing is we will see here, or let's say in a list in here, students school. Once I click to this button, it's mapped with this method. Okay, so once I click that button, it will call this method, and from this method I'm going to create this new cells order. Now why I'm copy this one, right? Might be you have a question. The thing is, if I will write down manually, so it will take a lot of time, right? So that's the reason I just copy paste everything. So just assume you have to prepare these vals in the backend, and then after you have to call the create method. So here let's say self.env, then after let's say cell.order, and simple we can use here the create method cell order vals, right? And let me print also this statement because it will return record set. Okay, oh, let's say so so dot name. Okay, so this is the simple. Now you understood, right? We have to pass like this. Now you can see this one, right? Now might be you have a question why there is an extra main bracket, right? Square bracket. So the thing is, the main purpose is, like, let's say if you want to pass one line or more than one line, so in that case we must have to pass this main bracket. Under this main bracket we have to pass like this. So in a short way we have to do something like this is the main, this is the first record, record 1, then after we have to copy this whole sub square bracket, then after 2, then after 3, something like this. Okay, now let me restart the service. Guys, if you don't know how to start, restart or configure Odoo in PyCharm, please check editor level playlist. I already explained everything. So now let's say if I will try to click to this button, right, and now if I'm going to the sales order, now you can see it will create a new record. You can see 29, right? And if you see here backend, you can see the 29 record is created. And by the way, you can see this is the create methods print statement, right, which we used here. So let me comment it out. This is specifically for your reference purpose, right? I have added the print statement, so you will have an idea like what kind of special commands the Odoo is using. So this is the special command for the create one, right? So this is the short name. What about if you want to use special command as that create special command, right? So for that you have to do like one thing. From here you have to use from odoo.fields import command. Using this command we can use the different types of special commands. Okay, now here instead of using something like this, we have to use like this. Okay, like this. And here we have to remove this one, this main bracket, and now we can directly use something like this. So here in this case we have to use like this, Command.create record 1, like this. Okay, short name and the full name. Now let's say restart the service. Let me clear all the logs, and once I click to this button, and now I'm going to here, and now you can see the new sales order is created with this line, right? So here you can see I just call this create method, right, and I just pass this main parameters, but the thing is it will automatically call the sales order line create method. So that's the main thing here, right? Otherwise what happen if we are not using the special commands, then first you have to call the sales order, then after you have to also call the sales order line, right, and here you have to pass here the lines vals, and we have to also pass the sales order ID here to map this both sales order and sales order line. So if you want to avoid such big logics which is unnecessary, then you can use without special commands, but using the special command you can do a lot of easy way. With the help of the special command the code should be reduced, okay, and it will automatically map internally, so we don't need to manage anything here. So that's the reason you can use something like this. Now question is, what about if you have like multiple lines here, right? So let's say, yeah, that's also possible. So for example, you have to just comma, right? So you have to consider this is the first line, this is the second line, and this is the third line. Okay, let me restart the service and let me click to this button, and now you can see it will create the 31, and now you can see 3 lines, right? So I hope you understood about this main topic specifically for the create special command. One more thing is, if you don't want to use like this, right, then again you can use like this, right? So I hope you understood about this main topic. If you still have any doubt related to this topic, please comment below, and see you in our next session.